not paw. Mask, not head. Brush, not tail. Pad, mask, brush. Oh, there you are. Tea?
Yeah.
James has been trying to teach me the language. You know, nothing has tails. Foxes have brushes, and hounds have sterns, like ships. And they're never called dogs. And a crop isn't a crop, it's a whip. And as for horses... The nearer this weekend gets at Summerby, the more I dread it.
I know exactly how you feel. I can still vividly remember the first time I went to stay at Southwold. I made little lists for weeks. If I hadn't been engaged for Marjorie, I think I'd have funked it.
But you were different. Well, you've been to a smart school, and Oxford. And you were used to it.
Oh, you'd be surprised how naive I was. After all, I was the son of a poor country parson. Quite successful scholastically, I admit. But then Greek doesn't go down very well in a billiard room. Furthermore, I had committed the appalling impertinence of asking the eldest daughter of an earl to marry me.
But you knew everything they did. Their habits.
Not a bit. I couldn't play bridge. I rode like a sack of potatoes. When we went shooting, I could feel old Walter Southwold's beady little eyes counting every bird I missed. And my man in London hadn't put in a white waistcoat. Oh, but things are quite different now. It'll be great fun. Anyway, the Newberries are very easy. You know them, don't you?
You've dined with them once, in London. I like Bunny. I wasn't too sure about his wife.
Diana? Oh, she's all right. James and Diana have known each other for years. They're practically brought up together. In fact, Marjorie thought at one time... we thought...
What a suitable wife she would have made for your son.
Oh, no, not exactly that.
She was so overwhelmingly friendly, I nearly suffocated. I'm sure I shall make the most ghastly faux pas, and James will be dreadfully ashamed.
You just be yourself.
I don't even know what to wear. Is it tiaras or turbans at dinner?
You'll need a maid.
Yes, I know. The thought of a strange woman doing my hair horrifies me.
Take Rose. She always used to look after Elizabeth. She knows all about it.
Hudson would have a fit.
Oh, no, nonsense. We've got that temporary girl and the cleaning women. I think we'll just about survive a weekend.
I'm sorry, Richard. I'm being a bore.
I think you'll be a great success.
Hello, Father. Hello, darling. Just tried on my new breeches. Man says they're the best pair he's made this year.
Oh, darling, how clever.
Oh, rather extravagant, but devilish smart. All those Meltonians.
Hazel was just saying how much she's looking forward to going.
Oh, yes, it'll be great fun.
Brush.
Yes?
Velvet pad.
Yep.
Gloves.
Yep.
2 pairs spurs, complete with straps.
Now, why wants 2 pairs, Rose?
One blunt, one sharp, depending on yours.
How do you fancy these pressed into your tender flanks, Rose?
Boot paws.
Yep.
Boot jockeys.
Yep.
Hunting whip.
Mm-hmm.
Top hat.
That's it.
Boots, and that's all. Now remember, Edward, when we're there, I am Miss Buck and you are Mr. Barnes.
Yes, Rose. Hey, will I have to help wait and all that?
You will not demean yourself by such a thing. You're Captain Bellamy's man, and as such, you will not lift a finger to touch nothing that isn't his. Now, like as not, we'll be asked to take our meals in the steward's room. You'll probably be asked to take in somebody else's man.
Oh, I hope she's a good looker.
None of that, Edward. There's temptations in them big houses.
Hey? Well, that's what I thought weekends in the country were for, Rose. You know, a little bit of what you fancy, eh? Oh, I beg pardon, Miss Buck. I can see I've offended your delicate sensibilities. Come on, Rose, we're off. Hey, look at those bells, Rose. Lord Charles Gilmore, the Oriel Room. Captain and Mrs. Bellamy, the Green Silk Room. The Honourable Mrs. Tewkesbury, the Pink Room. Major and Mrs. Cochrane Danby, the
Good
Orange
evening.
Room.
Would you be the Bellamys?
How do you do, Mr. Makepeace? Mr. Hudson sent his kind regards.
Mr. Breeze, Lord Newbury's man. Mr. Makepeace is unfortunately indisposed.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Ah, Cecile. The Bellamys, Mademoiselle Lambert, her ladyship's maid.
Miss Buck, Mr. Barnes.
Oh, yes. You are in the Green Silk Room, and we wish you to have a very nice stay.
Footman. Henry.
Come. That way.
Thank you.
And now, Miss Buck, may I show you your room?
Thanking you, Mr. Breeze.
Not always back.
Well, I said to him, he should have known. Staying at Sandringham, trousers abreast of the sides. He doesn't know the first thing, that man, and that sort never learn.
You can't teach an old dog.
That's right, Mr. Breeze. He didn't even bring Windsor livery.
I think I'll go up and unpack now, Mr. Breeze.
First floor, you'll see the card on the door.
Thank you.
Nice looking boy. Nice fresh complexion. Well, if I don't have him, Cecile will.
She was awfully cross, and he didn't know a thing about it.
There you are.
Jimmy.
Sorry, the train was late.
Come over and get warm and have some tea. James, I think you know everybody.
Kitty, Natalie, Charles, hello, Cocky.
Hazel, I don't think you met Mrs. Tewkesbury.
Hello.
Hello. Mrs. Cochrane Danby.
How do you do? We've all heard so much about you.
Lord Charles Gilmore.
We've met, I think, briefly with your father-in-law at the House of Commons.
Oh, yes. And Major Cochrane Danby.
I say, how do you do? Jolly nice to meet you.
I didn't have a party. I thought Hazel would rather have a quiet weekend after all the hurly-burly of London.
Thank you.
Do sit down. Barney will get you some tea.
Huh? Yeah.
Tell me, what sort of day did you have?
Oh, pretty middling.
Oh, Bunny, it was great fun.
Frank said it was the best Friday the Corn have had this season.
Bunny got left as usual and missed the hunt.
There was a fox in Carrington.
That wasn't Carrington's, that was Cream Golf.
We left Ashby Pastures on our right and went round Great Dalby.
Charles jumped the biggest oxer you've ever seen in your life.
It was a good horse I bought from the Yellowman.
That's where Pickles stopped. I didn't he ever got over it. I never saw him again.
Oh, Pickles hung up his boots years ago.
Poor old chap, he's rather pathetic.
Very bobbery.
He's lost his nerve. Doesn't go a yard.
Too much of this.
Angela had a horrible fall. Did
That
you
big
see?
ditch above Gartree Hill.
Yes.
Riding one of Rib's nice young horses.
She's quite mad, of course. A 4-year-old. Green as hell, straight off the bomb.
There was a lot of grief. Loose horses everywhere.
There's one poor fellow lying for dead on the road near Moscow Farm. Well, I don't know who he was. He was on a sort of common grey.
Oh, visitor.
A little man of absolutely no account.
He had a diamond horseshoe on his stock pin. There, I saw it at the meet. Quite horribilino.
James, James, come in to the stables.
Oh, right.
Who was that half-witted girl who was cutting on algae at that fence by Borough Hill Wood?
Rather pretty girl.
Frank says he doesn't know half the people hunting with the Gorm this season.
In Lordie's day, she'd have been sent smartly home. Perfect menace.
Why, the Wilsons let Lexi come out riding astride in that sort of coachman's coat. I'll never know.
You're all jealous she goes so well.
Do you hunt, Mrs. Bellamy?
No.
That was a jolly nice little
But
fellow.
I've ridden a bit
Prince
in
was
London.
riding.
I say, what fun.
That was Miss Padkin, the horse.
Nothing more boring than other people's hunting stories. Except their children and other ailments.
Oh, I'm rather enjoying it.
Where was the meet?
I've never heard so many nice people I didn't know talk about so many nice horses.
They
I
found
think.
a fox next door about 3:30.
I said, that's jolly funny. I must remember that.
From Saxby and
I bet you look damned handsome on a horse.
there because his horse
Well,
No, I mean it.
do you live up here, Major Danby?
Oh, good God, no. No one actually lives up here. Just come up to Leicestershire, don't you know, for the hunting.
You mean you all come up here just to hunt
Danby's
foxes?
horse practically run down.
No, dear lady, not just to hunt the foxes.
Hazel, if Cocky can spare you, come up and let me show you your room. I'm just taking James off to see if the horses are back here. What a sweet little hat. Thank you.
Well,
Not bad looking in a farouche sort of way.
it's really quite presentable. If only she wouldn't open her mouth.
Damned attractive girl, huh?
Girl?
Well, she's still only a bride.
She's as old as I am, if she's a day.
And Harry's your third husband, isn't he, darling? I mean, quite apart from one or two who got under the wire.
She's jealous. It's quite obvious if you've read your Freud that dear James has got a mother fixation. When he lost his mother, he had to find a replacement. La voila.
Dear Charles, when you start being intelligent, I never understand one word you say. Let's all go and have lovely lie-downs. Charles.
Well, Mr. Breeze, I see we've got a whole lot of odds and ends here again this weekend.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Gilmore. I really don't know why his lordship asks some of them.
Sort of asked themselves, aren't they?
Excuse me, but if you're referring to my master and his wife...
Mr. Gilmore was referring to Major and Mrs. Danby, I fancy, who, as you might say, are on the fringe of society, not having personal servants of their own. Black ties tonight, gentlemen, if you please.
Lord Charles is up here for the hunting, I suppose, Mr. Gilmore?
Lord Charles hunts in Leicestershire, always has done, as everyone knows. But I wouldn't exactly say that is why we are visiting Somerset. We are, for our sins, susceptible to the ladies. And the present object of our affections has a husband who isn't exactly enthusiastic. Well, rather the opposite, if you get my meaning. That is why we are here in this drafty old barracks, miles away from anywhere.
Oh, I see. Lord Charles has some nice things.
Yes. We have some even nicer things upstairs. You must allow me to show them to you sometime.
Oh, I'd like that, Mr. Gilmore.
You are finding everything to your liking?
Oh, yes, thank you. Miss...
Mademoiselle, Cécile.
Edward.
You are a nice-looking boy, Edward. Young for a valet de chambre. Not like some of them, you know.
No, not likely.
You are sleeping down here?
Yes, just along the corridor.
By yourself?
Oh, yes. I mean, I hope so.
I hope not. Now you are blushing.
Edward?
Yes, Rose?
What are you doing? Captain James is out of the bath and waiting.
Sorry, Rose, I'm new to this job.
Oh, if you'll excuse me mentioning it, madam.
Yes, Rose.
No, Lady Marjorie always used to say, no diamonds in the country.
Thank you, Rose.
Except if it's for a big formal party. Or a ball, of course.
These?
Most appropriate.
Thank you, Rose.
You look very beautiful tonight, Mary. Very proud of you. Thank you, Rose. If you will excuse my mentioning it, madam, but no diamonds in the country.
Have you tidied away Captain James' clothes?
Yes, Rose.
Put out his night things?
No, Rose?
Well, then go and do it now. And don't forget to put the toothpaste on the brush.
Oh, come on, Coffee, aren't you ready yet?
First syllable.
How many are there?
Oh, that would be jelly.
He's a piggy wig.
No, a wild boar. He's too fierce for a pig.
A boar, of course. Coffee, He doesn't even need to act that.
Ball or pig? Second syllable.
I really don't know what he's meant to be doing.
Lover.
Caveman.
Hazel, my dear, what a life you must lead at home.
What does that mean, Cecile?
Tonight, if you see the shoes pointing like that outside Lady Newbury's room, it means I shall be waiting for you.
Third and last syllable.
I know.
Fierce lot they are.
Tiger, a lion.
Androcles and the lion. Well, that was Androcles, that caveman.
No, he was a Christian slave. Now, what about the boar?
Oh, a boar by shore. Haven't you seen it? Dreadful play. The lion was the only lucky one not to have a speaking part.
And now the whole word.
I've got it. Boar de Lion.
Borderline.
Wrong!
No. I say, Dan, aren't you going too far?
It's all right, we're all friends.
Okay, the chair.
Oh.
Have you started?
Have you started now? Diana the Huntress.
Leonardo, Leon the lion.
Oh, I say.
Oh, my dear, this is becoming very rive gauche.
Wasn't there a king or someone who once worshipped a statue?
Midas.
Cocky, come on.
Oh, no.
My dear, do you think that this has been passed by the Lord Chamberlain?
I know. It's a king of Cyprus. It's shore again. It's pig.
Pygmalion!
I don't see that. It's all so muddling.
Pig, male, lion, Natalie dear. Pygmalion.
Oh.
Oh, Bunny, you've just missed your wife practically seducing James in public.
Won't be the first time.
Or the last.
Now, hunting tomorrow. They're meeting here. James, Sam Hames is bringing a horse across for you, and he swears it can jump. Now, what about Hazel?
Hazel doesn't hunt.
You ride, don't you, Hazel?
I'm sure she'd love to.
Maybe messing about in the wood all morning, no jumping or anything. Hazel could have that old mare of your mother's.
Oh, yes, Blueberry. Now, she's as quiet as a lamb.
sorry, Hazel isn't going to hunt.
The voice of the master. Let's all have a drink.
James, game of billiards.
Yes. Drinks, then?
Well, I think I'm for bye-byes.
Good night, Natalie, darling.
Good night, my dear.
I'm really rather weary.
I hope she isn't too weary. James is really turning into a caveman. I hope you have strong hair, Hazel dear.
I think it's jolly bad luck if Hazel does want to hunt.
I wouldn't stand for my husband ordering me about like that.
We know that, darling.
If you would like to hunt, you jolly well hunt. Well, it's no good forcing her to do something she doesn't want to do.
James doesn't want me to do.
Don't you let James rot you. He's getting very bossy, and it's time he was taught a lesson.
I haven't any proper clothes.
There's enough clothes in this house to equip a female squadron of yeomanry.
Why don't you wait till they've moved off, then come out later?
You can have a groom to bring you out. Oh, I would adore to see James's face. Oh, it'd be rather fun, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would be rather fun.
I say, what a lark.
Where's Charlie and Natalie?
Last seen drawing the orangery.
What a drama. I wish I hadn't missed it all.
I thought Hazel Bellamy came off best. I thought she was damn plucky.
And now Bunny is furious with Diana, and James is livid with Hazel.
I say, haven't heard the latest. Hazel Bellamy's bolted.
Bolted? Not again. Not twice in one day. But how, darling?
She's just upped sticks and dashed off to London without telling anyone.
But why on earth? Well, she must have gone quite a hurry.
Aren't we ever going to have dinner? I'm famished. Even though the cooking in this house is...
It's like a play by Pinero. Whatever next?
Look, if there's anything we can do, James, now do let us know. I don't suppose any of you can cast any light on the mysterious departure of Hazel Bellamy.
Oh, dear Bunny, you sound just like S. Holmes, the squire.
Well, it is damn upsetting. I mean, James has gone off in a hell of a state.
Apparently, somebody was in her room talking to her after tea.
Probably her maid.
A man's voice, according to my maid.
Well, I was in here playing backgammon with James.
Don't all look at me.
You forgot to lock your dressing room door.
Cocky, you dirty old stoat at it again.
I never touched her, Kitty, darling. I swear it. I just went in to see if she was all right, you know, after the shock.
Cocky, dear, the shock of seeing you in one's bedroom, bearing down on one at full steam ahead, is enough to make anyone run away to London. Natalie, you are speaking of my husband.
I'd like a word with you after dinner.
Don't be pompous, Bunny. Cocky can't help it.
Dinner is served, my lady.
Thank you. Well, thanks to La Bellamy, this is turning out to be quite a jolly weekend.
They were quite funny, really. Like a lot of grown-up children playing with fire.
They lead empty, pointless lives, so they have silly games to keep themselves from dying of boredom. What is quite unforgivable is James's behaviour.
Everyone up there seemed to think it was considered just another game. I suppose I was silly to run away, but I was so desperately hurt, Richard.
Yes, I know.
How they'll all be laughing about it now.
I've never heard of anything so cruel and thoughtless that a son of mine could...
I don't think I can face him, Richard.
He won't come tonight. When he does show his face again, just leave him to me. James?
I'd like to talk to Hazel alone, please, Father.
I think Hazel would prefer that I stayed, so that you can explain your behaviour to both of us.
My behaviour? What made you bolt like that?
Can't you think of one good reason?
No, I can't. I've been trying to for the last 3 hours. Why didn't you tell me you wanted to leave?
For once, I don't think your darling Diana would have been very amused if I'd walked into her bedroom and asked to be allowed to talk to my husband.
First, let me say that I have never been in Diana Newbury's bed, either before or after her marriage. Second, let me say that after tea, I never for 1 minute left the hall. I played backgammon with Charles Gilmore, and until the man brought your note, the only movement I made was to get myself a drink. Father, Charles Gilmore's a friend of yours. You can confirm it. Who told you this nonsense?
Major Danby.
Cocky. That man should be shot.
James.
I suppose he pussyfooted his way into your room.
James, I wish you'd been there. He was so funny.